All right. Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III here with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. I hope you are having an amazing week. And if you're not, I hope it gets better starting from here on out. Anyway, I want to start you out with the quote of the day. If you have the Daily Mastermind mobile app, you can pull that up, come to the quote tab. It's all free content in there, so make sure you download this. This is great for on the go. And the quote of the day for today, April 28th, is by Tony Robbins, and it is, whatever you focus on is what you get. What you focus on is what you get. Not what you want, not what you think you're going to get, what you focus on your day-to-day. I love that quote. And here's a great segue into what I want to talk to you about today, because I just have a couple of thoughts on the fly. I want to ask you something about how you push through difficult times and how you show up when the going gets tough. You've heard that saying, when the going gets tough. So I want you to ask yourself that question. And, I really want you to ask yourself that question in advance, but maybe you're going through some tough things right now. Maybe you're dealing with work-related situations or relationships or personal, stress, anxiety, depression, whatever it is. But when things get going tough, how do you show up? What do you do when things get tough? Do you retreat? Do you just kind of fall back? Do you, move away from people? Do you slow down? Do you take a break? Do you get upset, depressed, anxious, stressed? What is it that you do when you have tough times, difficult times? Because you have to ask yourself this question. I'm watching every single day people in my sphere of influence and myself too. Look, I'm an open book. The bottom line is this: I have tough days, struggles as well. Especially, most of you think as soon as I have some success and I start making a lot of money or I have opportunities, things will get better. What you don't realize is that more stress comes with that, more anxiety, more troubles, more circumstances. I feel like my son is in the Air Force as a fireman. I feel like I'm putting fires out all day long, man. I guarantee you I'm fighting more fires than he is, and he's doing that for a living. But I tell you, you just have to look at it as, how do you react when that happens? Because there's a point when things happen, and this is back to kind of a Stephen Covey principle I heard a long time ago. There's this moment in time between stimulus and response. This moment in time between when something happens to you and when you respond. Now look, in full disclosure, those of you that know me know that I'm quick to respond on things. Now, I like to think I get it right most of the time. But, I try to remind myself, and that's a lot of the reasons why I do podcasts, is topics for myself as much as I am for you. And the bottom line is this: when you can become aware in advance of things happening, that when something happens, you're going to take a second before you respond. What happens is you stop playing the victim role. Because like we talk about with our prosperity pillars, I create my life. I take personal responsibility. I think win-win. I create solutions. The bottom line is this: most people play the victim. Most people focus on the problem. Even if, and here's a subtlety, even if you're trying to find solutions to the problem and you're still focused on the problem, you're still focused on the wrong thing. And what I want to talk to you about today is lessons that I've learned on how, when things happen, when the going gets tough, you can take some steps in order to take control of your situation. See, your ability to deal with uncertainty, as my partner Robert Stuberg would say, your ability to deal with uncertainty is going to be a direct measure of your success. But your ability to create certainty in an uncertain world, now that is a difference maker. Your ability to create certainty for yourself in an uncertain world is going to give you the edge on everyone else. And this comes down to eliminating this victim role, this problem-solving, problem-focused, thing that most people have, and taking it to another level where what you do is you actually take control of the situation. So I want to talk to you about how to take a few steps to conquer the obstacles that are happening in your life, or to take control and create certainty, focus on solutions, get out of the victim role, push yourself out of the rut. And I'm just going to give you some steps that work for me, but the fact of the matter is, you have to understand yourself. You have to understand if you're caught up in your physical world or your mental world, or if you're caught up in environment outside of you that you can't control. You have to analyze the situation. So here's what I recommend. What I recommend is, when something difficult happens, when you're in a difficult situation, first and foremost, take a step back. See this awareness that you can create of, hey, Some stuff's going on right now. I got to take a step back. The minute you do that is the minute you become empowered. The minute you create awareness of the situation, because remember, you are not your mind. You're the person controlling your mind. You're at least making the efforts to control your mind. You have to become aware. That's the key. When you become aware that you're reacting or you're playing the victim or you become aware of a hard situation, that's when you can take action. So the first thing you got to do is take a step back. Become aware of what's going on. You're struggling. You're having a hard time. Your tire popped in your car on your way down Las Vegas Boulevard, which happened to me just recently. You're stuck in the airport. You're not feeling well today. You don't feel like getting out of bed. When you see a difficult situation happen, take a step back. Ask yourself what's going on here and become aware. The next thing you need to do, especially if you're in the circumstances, is take a deep breath. And I'm telling you, it sounds simple, but if you'll take 3 to 5 deep breaths, deep cleansing breaths, breathe in, let it out slowly, your whole physiology will change, which changes your mind. Your body and mind are so connected. So take a step back and take a deep breath, and then remind yourself to take courage. Remind yourself that you're going to have these core principles we've talked about, a resolve to follow things through, the belief and faith that you can do it, the courage that you're going to step into the unknown and know that it's okay to mess up. Take some courage, and then after you've taken a step back and a deep breath, get a little courage, create a plan. Come up with a quick plan here. It doesn't matter. There's no win, lose, draw plan. Just create a plan so that you feel like you've gained a bit of control over your situation, and create that plan from solution. See, the thing is when you create a plan from solution, you're operating from a place of abundance. You're operating from a place of abundance rather than a place of scarcity. When you're dealing with a problem and you're like, this is going bad and this is going bad and this is going bad, how can I fix it? You're already in a place of scarcity. You have to operate from a place of abundance, and so start from solution. As one of my mentors, Jason Brown, always says, start from solution. And so you're thinking of solutions, not ways to fix a problem. It's a subtle difference, but I'm telling you, your subconscious mind really will help you and engage with you if you start from a place of abundance. And know that there's always a win-win. There's always a way out. There's always a way. Even if everything has happened wrong and the wrong direction and you're going in the wrong area, starting right now in the present, like we talked about yesterday, you can start moving in the right direction. Even if it's a little tiny step forward, it's in the right direction. So take a step back, take a deep breath, grab some courage, create a plan, and then you have to move into your fear. You have to move into the situation. When you move into your fear, you can immediately feel successful. Listen to what I said there. Most people don't focus on the fact that when you're moving into fear, you're already outside your comfort zone. You're already making progress. You've already won the game just by doing that. You recognize and give yourself credit for stepping back, taking a second, grabbing some courage, and then jumping into your fear and moving forward. And this is one of the most important things that I've learned to do that I want to encourage you to do, and that is disconnect from the outcome. You have to learn to disconnect from the outcome and get grounded in the present and give yourself credit for moving forward. Because if you're worried about whether your actions are going to be good or bad, or whether your problem's going to go away, or whether it's going to continue to persist, or whether you could actually make it, you've already lost the battle. If you're already winning, you're already trying to figure out how to win the game, then you're not in the quarter. You're not in the half. You're not in that period of the game where you're trying to just get points on the board. And games are won and lost by scoring points. They're not won and lost by what you think you're going to do for the next hour, 2, week, month, year of your life. You got to focus on the present. And then finally, just take action. Take action. If you don't move in any direction, you're not taking action. You got to move in any direction. Don't disconnect from the outcome. Jump into your fear and move forward. Because here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you this even if you don't believe it yourself, your best will always be good enough when you're operating outside your comfort zone, because you've already won. You've already won the game. You've already won the moment, because you can only win in the moment. Everything hasn't happened yet in the future, and everything in the past is over with. You can only win in the moment. It's the only thing you can do. So focus on the moment and give yourself some credit and have patience. When you learn to accept patience and give yourself credit, and you disconnect from the outcome, it's going to make the world of difference for you. And I promise you that rather than trying to figure out all these steps, those first couple steps is always the first step that's toughest. When you step back with awareness, you take a deep breath and grab some courage, you create a plan, jump into your fear, disconnecting from the future and the result and the outcome, and just take action, you're going to have success in your life. And at a very minimum, you're going to feel great about what you do. And that is the difference maker. So I hope that helps you. I hope that gives you a little bit of inspiration to be able to move forward. And if there's anything I could do for you, hit me up on the Daily Mastermind. And do me a favor. We don't do any advertising sponsors on this podcast. Share it with somebody so that we can get the message out and we can help other people that are dealing with struggles as well. And I really look forward to helping you a little bit more this week. I love to hear feedback. So hit me up on the Daily Mastermind on Facebook or Instagram. And I look forward to hearing about your successes. Have a great day.